Today I'm doing a little bit of food storage, and I wanted to show you how I do mine. Today I'm going to be doing, I've got 25 pounds of rice, I've got 25 pounds of sugar, and I've got a 5-pound bag of self-rising flour that I'm going to be putting up. For the rice, I'm putting in a 5-gallon bag, Mylar bag, in a 5-gallon bucket. And for that, I've got the Mylar bags, and I've got the 2000 cc oxygen absorbers. And for the sugar, I'm going to be putting that in some 1-gallon Mylar bags to make it, to package it up into more usable sizes. And I won't be putting O2 absorbers in that, because if you do that, that will make it hard as a rock. You'll have to bust it up and basically grind it up to be able to use it. And it doesn't really need O2 absorbers because it's not going to go bad. And the only reason I'm putting it in the Mylar bags is just to help prevent any pests from getting into it. It's just it's a little bit of overkill on protection, but you know, why take a chance? So that's what I'm going to be putting up. I'm going to start with the 25 pounds of rice, and then we'll move to the sugar, and then we'll do the flour. Okay, so I've got my 5-gallon Mylar bag set up in my bucket here, and to seal the bag, I'm just using a flat iron, a Revlon flat iron that I got at Walmart. The O2 absorbers, this is the 2000 cc O2 absorbers, but I should only need one for a 5-gallon bucket, but I'm going to put in 2. Just for a little extra protection. Now what I would normally do with my rice is I would normally take this rice and put it in the freezer for 3 or 4 days to make sure any kind of bugs or anything that's inside the rice is killed. And then I would let it sit at room temperature for about 2 or 3 days for all the condensation to evaporate, so that because you don't want to put wet rice in a bag and seal it up. That's asking for all kinds of problems. So, but right now my freezer is completely full, and I have no room for this much rice in there right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to seal it in this bag with 2 O2 absorbers. That's 4,000 cc's worth of O2 absorbers. That'll pull all the oxygen out, and it should still provide plenty of protection for my rice. So, alright, got my bag ready. I'll start with the smaller bag here. Cut this open. That one. Cut the corner off of this one, just to make it a little bit easier to pour. Whoops. All right. Shake it to kind of settle it down. Now, as you can see, the rice comes up to right about here, so it's about, the bucket is about this full, right around here. I've got plenty of bag left. What this is good for is you'd want to seal it up here at the very top, and then you have plenty of bag left over, so if you need to open it, get some out, you can have plenty of bag left to reseal it. So what I'm going to do next, I could get a little bit more rice in there, but I only have 25 pounds to put in there this time. But what I'm going to do next, I'm going to seal this up except for a small section right here where I can drop in the O2 absorbers. And then I'm going to push this down, fold this down, squeeze as much air out as I can, and seal up that last bit. I don't like that they send these all in one big pack like this, because once you cut it open they start absorbing O2. And I'm doing it this way so that I can pull two out real quick, drop them in here, seal this back up to protect the remainder of my O2 absorbers, and then I've only got this small corner here to seal up. I don't have to worry about trying to seal this entire thing up while my O2 absorbers are just pulling oxygen and burning up. So I've got my iron nice and hot, and I'm going to start with just a little bit on the corner. Actually, I'm going to put that on high. And I usually like to do a nice wide seal, so I'll go back over this again after I'm completely done. It does get a little bit warm, so you need to be careful. Do a little bit more. Okay, and that leaves me a nice little opening. Hopefully it's big enough for my little O2 absorbers. I'll squeeze them in there. Now, I want to take this and I want to trim off as little as I can to open this up so that I still have plenty of bag left to seal. Two in here. Like I said, two is a little overkill, but I would rather have more protection than not enough. Okay, now for this bag, I'm going to seal that back up real quick. Ooh, got that just a little too warm. All right, so when you have it, you got to make sure you don't have your iron too hot, and I just about did on the small plastic bag. But I've got a nice, I don't know if you can see this on there, a nice band here, but I like to go a little bit wider, so I'm going to make another pass on this. You know what? I forgot to let the air out of that. Crap. That's okay, that's a simple fix. I'm not used to doing all of this while I'm filming, so learn from my mistakes, guys. There we go. Now, there we go. That's better. Alright. Pull it back out, and I'm going to make another pass on this, just to make that seal a little bit wider. as you can see, I got a nice wide band there to seal it up. And from here, I'll just fold that down. I'll put a lid on this, and then I'll label it. I'll label what's in it and the date I packed it. Okay, so I've got my rice done. I'm just waiting for the oxygen to get absorbed out of that. Now for the sugar, I'm using the 1 gallon bags. I'm setting them in a pot here because this pot will help hold the bag upright and it won't fall over and spill out as I'm trying to fill it. I'm also going to be using a funnel just to help funnel in the sugar, because sometimes I'll be scooping it out with this, and that sometimes it can spill over, and I'm trying to eliminate as much waste and mess as possible. Now for each 1 gallon bag, I'm putting 4 scoops. Now this is an old 2-cup measuring cup, and I'm going to be using 4 of these in each bag. That comes out to roughly 5 pounds of sugar per 1 gallon bag. And I find that to be a somewhat usable size. I can grab it, open it up, and use from it without having a bunch of my other sugar exposed. It's just enough to make my tea, do cooking with, things like that, and not so much that I had this massive excess left over that I've got to reseal. So let's get started with this. I should be able to get about 4 of these bags out of this 25-pound bag of sugar, and then I've got some. I'm not going to seal up the entire bag because I want to leave some out to use in my normal cooking and stuff. But this 25-pound bag at Walmart only cost me $9. It saves me a lot of money buying in bulk like this, so I can buy my sugar or whatever in bulk like this, have plenty to put back, and still have my daily use. So let's get started here. You have to pour slow, otherwise you'll make a huge mess. And I don't like wasting anything. Also, if you do happen to spill any, this pot will help catch it. So that's another reason for using this pot, to help the bag stand upright. That's 3. I really need to get me a different type of scoop. Just like the other bag, I'll seal along the top. Only this bag, like I said, I'm not going to put any O2 absorbers in, because if you do that, then it'll basically turn into a brick of sugar instead of granulated sugar, and then you'll have to grate it or grind it up. So from here, I'll just go ahead and start sealing it up. These smaller bags are a whole lot easier to seal up than the larger ones are. Make one more little quick pass on that. Like I said, I like a nice wide seal that helps prevent any air leaks. Nice bag of sugar. All I gotta do is label it when I put it up. So there's one. Let's get started on the next one. That's 3. Slow it down a little bit. That's 4. See if I can't squeeze a little bit more air out of this. There we go. One thing you want to do is you want to make sure that this Mylar along the top side is nice and clean before you seal it up. It just helps ensure a good seal. It's 3. I've actually spilled a little bit of sugar here. Been a little bit careless with it. There's 4 bags, and the rest I'm going to empty up into my sugar container that I keep in the kitchen. So I'll do that, and then I'll be back and we'll do the flour. Sugar labeled and dated. Set that to the side. Alright, I've got my bag ready for the flour. Now this one I will add an O2 absorber to, and I've got these smaller O2 absorbers. These are the 300cc. I'm going to put 2 of those in this bag as well. Wipe off both sides of this so I can get a good seal. And again, I'm going to seal it halfway, and then I'm going to drop in my O2 absorbers and finish sealing it. The reason I'm adding O2 absorbers to this is so there's no weevils or anything getting. Flour sometimes comes with weevil in it, and I want to make sure that there's no oxygen so that anything inside it is dead. So let's get a good seal on about half the bag. Here, again, I'll cut just a small piece off the top of this bag, just enough to get the O2 absorbers out. These are 300 cc, so again, I only want 2. Go ahead and drop them in the flour. Quickly seal this back up so the rest of my absorbers are okay. Now I can come back, kind of press the remaining air out of this bag. Wipe that seal off. There's a little residue there. And seal it up. Okay, once you get that main seal good, you go back. Kind of just make it a little bit wider. And there we go. This. And there we go. Let the oxygen absorber do its work, and then I'll put all these in buckets. I'm going to be adding a lot more flour to my stash. I'm going to add another bucket, a couple of buckets of rice, an equal amount of flour for making breads, things like that, and it can be used in other forms of cooking as well. Sugar is always useful for doing all kinds of canning, preserving, cooking. There's just no end to the use of the sugar, so I want to build up plenty of that as well. But I had 25 pounds of rice, cost me maybe $10. The 5 pounds of flour, less than $2. And the 25 pounds of sugar was $9. So, you know, it's not expensive to put stuff back. And the more you put back, if you lose your job or something happens to where you need food but you have no money coming in, you've got plenty of food to live off of. I'll be doing videos on the future as I continue my food preps. I'm going to be putting up all kinds of things. I'm going to be doing some dry canning. I want to learn how to do some actual canning, some pressure canning, so I can can some meats, soups, things like that. I got beans I want to put up in similar to these in smaller bags like the sugar, and there's plenty more to come. I got more coming your way, so like this video, subscribe if you haven't, stay tuned to my channel, and I've got more coming for you guys. So catch you next time.